There is a product you buy every single day without even realizing it. You don't hold it in your hand. You don't see it on a shelf, but it controls almost your entire life. That product is debt. And today, I'm going to show you this. Why debt is the most profitable product in history, why it is never accidental, and why the system cannot survive without it. By the end of this video, you will understand why debt is called freedom, and why most people actually become less free because of it. Debt looks like a simple promise. Take it today, pay tomorrow. But that's not the real issue. The real issue is interest. Interest means selling your future today. It means tying money you haven't earned yet to someone else. And this idea is so powerful that it has shaped the world for thousands of years. In ancient Mesopotamia, people recorded debts on clay tablets. But there was something interesting. At certain intervals, debts were erased. Why? Because rulers realized this. If people drown in debt, they cannot work. If they cannot work, the system collapses. And if the system collapses, power is lost. The same idea appears in the Torah. Every 50 years, debt forgiveness was commanded. So ancient societies knew this. If debt is left unchecked, it becomes slavery. In the Middle Ages, the church banned interest. But bankers did not give up. They hid debt, buried it inside contracts. They renamed interest as trade commission or service fees. Then powerful families appeared, like the Medici family. They owned no land, they had no armies, but they lent money to kings. And when they lent money, they didn't just earn profit, they bought decisions. Debt was no longer just money, it meant power. In the 17th century, a major turning point occurred. The Netherlands, and then England, discovered something. States could borrow, and that debt never had to end. In 1694, the Bank of England was founded. Government debt became permanent. Debt was no longer a solution to crises. It became the way the state lived. Wars were no longer financed with gold, but with the future, and the winners were obvious. Those who lent the money. By the 20th century, debt was no longer a toy of elites. It was sold to the public. Home loans, a dream. Car loans, freedom. Credit cards, convenience. Student loans, a future. The message was simple. If you don't borrow, you fall behind. But no one said this. A house you pay for 30 years actually costs 2 or 3 times its price. No one said this either. Credit card debt swallows you before you even realize it, because the system does not want debt to end. Banks don't want debt to be paid off. They want it to be restructured. Governance choose debtines, taxes. Central banks print money to keep the machine running. Debt is no longer a bridge. Debt is the building itself. In 2008, the system collapsed. Homes were lost, jobs were lost, savings were lost, but banks were rescued. And the irony is this: a crisis caused by debt was solved with more debt. Today, total global debt exceeds $300 trillion. That is many times more than what the world produces. Debt makes the rich richer, because they borrow cheaply to buy more assets. Debt makes the poor poorer, because they borrow expensively just to survive. Every interest payment is money flowing from the bottom to the top, and the system calls this normal. Is debt bad? No, but it is not neutral. Debt exists not to free you, but to keep the system alive. Real freedom begins when you stop worshipping debt. If this video gave you a different perspective, subscribe. Because history holds the answers, and we will uncover them together.